Like, honest to God, if I see another diabetes commercial with some chick dancing around on the street with a grocer, it's not fun. It sucks. Rob has type 1, I got type 2. There's nobody partying in the streets when you're taking 38 pisses a night. Give me a break.
Maybe if you were taking some more Ozempic, you would be.
Yeah, it'd also be a hell of a lot thinner. That stuff, that's working for supermodels.
Mayo Experience.
Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by DraftKings, the Week 13 NFL Best Bets, Gold, Silver, and Bronze tiers, plus a teaser, plus a recap. And I do want to let all of you know to not only smash the like and sub to the channel, but play in the DraftKings Listeners League. That link is down in the description. Right now, it's $15 to play, 3 max entry, no rake, thus making it the best tournament on DraftKings. Flat payouts as well. And if you need to get in on the prop game, highly recommend the Run the Sims Prop Sniper. Code Mayo will get you 10% off, making it like $12 a week, something like that. And Lord knows, you're probably going to be betting more than that. Pizzola and Cam are on the line with me. Rob, we missed you on Thanksgiving Day.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I was doing my own Thanksgiving thing. I ended up having some buddies over to watch the Cowboys game, which went swimmingly for me. Unfortunately, lost my shirt on some Lions teasers in the early day.
You're telling me. Regroup. Yeah. That's great. Nothing like Thanksgiving when you're already dipping in going, how the hell am I going to save this day? Honest to God, Detroit. Like, this is your chance. You know what I mean, Rob? It's like that band. You've been playing small venues. You get a stadium tour and you reek. Broken strings, panic. I'm telling you, this Detroit team, all you had to do was thump the Packers and change all of your folklore for the last 20 fucking years. And honest to God, hey, I got to give LaFleur and the Packers credit, guys. They played great. Detroit, they were sleeping. But you're right, Rob. We got it back on the Cowboys.
Well, the Packers went down the field on the first drive. They scored their touchdown. I'm like, beautiful. Live bet Detroit. Click that minus 195 money line on Detroit. Lions go down the field. They score. I'm laughing. I'm like, these idiots. They put up this horrible live line. And then, of course, the Lions can't do anything for the rest of the game. Bunch of losers. Not a fan of Detroit. Never have been. I don't wish the people of the city the worst, but I want that franchise to be in misery for a long time. They've cost me a lot of money in my lifetime.
It's okay. Detroit can get us our money back this week. Don't worry about it.
It's true.
Can they, Patrick?
They might be able to.
Can they?
Yeah, they're playing someone in the NFC South.
Okay.
That's usually the Jets.
That's usually. We'll talk about the Jets. Jets might be a good bet this week. We'll see where they end up in the gold, silver, or bronze. If I'm going to end up going that way, we'll see. To recap last week, it was a good and bad week. We were 4-5 overall. The teaser lost because of the stupid Browns, but we were 3-0 with the gold pick, so that always works out well, Cam.
It sure does, Pat. I don't know which. I think it would have been a perfect day too, but I think I had the Chargers in my minerals. And if Rob hates Detroit, like, I don't know what to say anymore. Like, this team, I don't know what I am. It's like a drug addict, and I've been in rehab for 3 years, and then, I can't even, like, give it to me again. I'm in. Let's party. Let's go. Let's go hang out by the ditch. I don't understand. And Zay Flowers, like, I'm going, just please go down. Please go down. Please go down. Oh, he's in. He's in. He's in. Ruin the 3.5, the teaser players, everybody else. And fuck New England. I told you guys Mac Jones is a scumbag. That team, the Patriots and Chargers, Pat, and I also will admit my love for felines, the Panthers. If I didn't bet those teams this year, I'd be probably doing a hell of a lot better working on my mortgage payments and not getting shaken down by TD Bank.
Your Paul Bearer impression was a big hit. It even made the intro.
Patrick, did I tell you about Mac Jones? That dirty, ball-kicking, cleat into the face, asshole Stooge. He's a loser. He can't make a 5-yard pass. He's so bad. Oh, my God. Start Zappy or Cunningham. Put Malik Cunningham in the game and see what he's got. Okay, Bill. We're going to play a game in Croatia for you, Bill? Anyway, I'm done. The Patriots suck. Oh, I guess they're playing each other this week. What do we do? Russian roulette. Chargers and Pats.
Armageddon. This is the world just blows up. Meteor hits the earth on
You're right,
Sunday,
Rob.
right
Finger
at
on the
kickoff.
button. Which one? Who's first? God.
I will say, Mac Jones sucks.
Oh,
But
he sucks hard, bro.
we give a lot of these guys like Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, like these guys suck. They're terrible.
Zach Jones is 100 times better than Jones, but continue your thought.
Zach Wilson.
Zach
You,
Wilson.
you think you,
you
hold on,
made
hold
them
on.
like a hybrid.
Hold
hybrid
on.
yeah.
Wilson.
You think that Zach Wilson is 100 times better than Mac Jones?
Sorry, 100 times. See, Patrick, that's the problem. Sometimes I know you're smart. You take things when I say literally, and I should just be more specific. I think he's a hell of a lot better.
He's not.
I think Jones is awful.
Mac Jones had a good season. Mac Jones
can't
rookie
run.
year was good.
Jones
Yep.
can't throw. Wilson can at least run. Wilson throws picks. Jones can't. You know what? Jones can't make the simple pass. That's what makes him the shittiest. He can't make a 5-yard fucking pass that a kindergarten kid could make.
I'm
He
reliving
stinks.
the pain of Mac Jones, but Mac Jones actually does have times where he looks competent. The only problem is, and it's a huge problem, I've never seen someone throw so many interceptions where there's not even like you look and you're like, who is he throwing to? Like
That's what I'm talking,
where is
triple
the
coverage.
Patriots receiver here? He just threw it directly to the other team for no reason. He did that last, like, I can't handle it. The only thing I was going to say is these alternatives all suck as well. Like everyone's like, oh yeah, we got to bench Zach Wilson. Tim Boyle comes in. Tim Boyle's
Boyle reeks.
a gas cat. Bailey Zappi played the second half. Bailey Zappi stinks as well. Like they all stink. They just have a bunch of quarterbacks who stink. It doesn't matter. So like, I get it. Enough is enough at some point, but the alternatives are not going to do anything.
No, I agree with you, Rob. And you know me, I defend backup quarterbacks and stuff. But I'm not gonna come on the show and lie and say Boyle's good. Boyle, know what his job is? Hand up the fucking ball and get out of the way, dude. You stink. You can't throw. But there's guys like Gardner Minshew who are good backups, who grind. He is not perfect. He's not a perfect human being, but he can make a throw, he can elude pressure, and he can find a second or third receiver. You're right, Rob. I will admit, most backups and third stringers in this league shouldn't be playing football. And the NCAA should be working at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Isn't that what happens when you don't get a college after your college career? They give you a job at Enterprise.
Tim Boyle did throw a 99-yard touchdown pass last week.
Yeah, to Holland.
Yeah, but like what people are upset about this, they're like, oh, why didn't they
Pat.
kneel on the ball? It's like that's their best chance to score
It
for the
is.
entire game. Just launching it up to the end zone on a random play. Like, what are they gonna? They can't move the ball. Like, they cannot move the ball.
Rob, look at
all.
the games we lose, though. Like, you know what I mean? It's like Blessing used to always tell me water finds its level. That idiot makes that play. Miami scores a 99-yard touchdown. Instead of a guy going down, they go in and score a touchdown. The Patriots fucking throw a pick to the Giants. That's all they can do with DeVito is give them good field position. Like, it's just because their defense could have won the game alone. If you run Stevenson and have a good defense, you're going to win these games. It's just like we always seem to be on, like we're doing fine too. Crush the afternoon slate. On Thanksgiving, other than Dallas, I got absolutely raped. But I'm looking at these teams, like even my team, Geno Smith is like, he took the bag. He sucks.
Yeah.
Like he's bad. Like
my buddy
it's a
was
problem.
onto something with the Drew Lock rookie cards. I don't know
He sure
why
was, and I agreed with him, but
they
no
should
one's
have made
listening.
the
No one's
switch
listening
at
to
some
us.
point, man. Geno's going back to
Geno
old
basically
Geno.
stole from Seattle. He's like, I'm going to play good now. It's kind of like, you can even tell when he's out there. Like when he was playing for a contract, guys, he was working and like, it's a whole different, like the body language, everything. It's just, hey man, you got to keep people hungry in life, right, Pat? That's why you give me Omaha steaks. You know, I got to keep Cam hungry, keep guy, then I eat them. And the show after the Omaha steaks, I'm a little bit full. You might not get that 100% effort. That's the whole thing. But you try your best. These guys are basically stealing some of these guys in the league.
You tried to do a great promotional thing for Omaha Steaks, which you did. It was nice. However, you did the exact opposite. If Pat wanted to keep you hungry, he would not be sending you the steaks.
That's a good. Sorry,
He's
Rob,
actually trying to not keep you hungry.
That's a good point. Anyway,
you
we
tried.
can't compare steaks and football, even though I'd rather like either eat the crusts than watch these NFL. Honest to God, guys, have you seen a worse year of football? Thank God we invented gambling. That Bears game, I'm like, oh, I got money on this game. Like, if I had no money on that game, I'd be watching cartoons or murder mysteries. We talk about this every week. Worst product ever. Worst refereeing ever.
Dude, what happened to this league? What happened to
Rob,
the
I'm telling you,
quarterbacks all suck. Like 3/4 of the quarterbacks suck. And on top of it, the ref shows are too much nowadays.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I watch college football on Saturday, Pat. I really want to say, I know you guys are more NFL. These referees are competent. They do a really good job. They make maybe one mistake. Hell, the CFL guy with the French accent, like Lurch, he's making great calls. Like, I don't understand how the top league in the world, Rob, and I think you got to agree with me on this, is the worst. There's no flow. Everybody who's not a starter reeks. I don't know what to say. This NFL product, thank God for gambling, because it sucks.
And you know what, Cam? Just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, I sit down to watch Sunday Night Football. I hear Tirico. Then I'm like, who's this other guy? They put the clapper, Jason Garrett, into the booth to replace Collinsworth on his week off. And I'm like, Jesus. And it honestly gave me PTSD as a Cowboys fan listening to that guy. And I'm like, now I understand why we were so bad for so many years. Like, this guy just doesn't get it. He has not evolved. He played quarterback in the 90s, backing up Troy Aikman. He's never evolved from that. He thinks we're still playing football in the 90s at this point. It's tough, man. It's a tough league to follow.
When guys are begging for Collinsworth, you got issues, bro.
I like Collinsworth.
Collinsworth is one of the best. He's one of the best.
I got to be honest with you. He's very good at his job, but it's just the same bullshit shtick. Then again, that's me too. So I guess I have a lot of haters.
He's a little snarky and like arrogant.
Yeah, he could be like kind of like, just dude, we get it. Like, anyway,
it's funny because the one who was the big winner from because when Romo came in, everyone was all about Romo, and everyone hates Romo now. But Aikman for years just seemed like he was in a concussion days, and then he goes to ESPN. Romo shows up all of a sudden. He's like good again. It's weird.
So what Aikman's awesome, but the best guy, the guy who made the most evolution, is the Sasquatch Greg Olson. Greg Olson has literally gone to school, Pat, and I loved him as a player. Rob, you know, Olson is watching the games and talking about things we're talking about, not blatant, obvious shit all the time. He's like, look at this formation, and not like Tony Romo hopped up on Google.
What? I don't know, Jim.
Like,
I don't know.
Dude, how's your Ritalin? You think I'm hyper? Like, enough.
Tony Romo suggested that, what do they have? The Eagles game, Eagles-Bills. He suggested that the Eagles should try a fake field goal on 4th and 17 this week. This is a good time for a fake, isn't it, Jim? What do you think? You catch the defense off a card. It's like, no, Tony. Like, this is
Tony.
Greg Olson is amazing. He's really good. He's the number one.
Hey, and he
talks like a regular guy.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what? We like him. He talks like a regular guy. He looks like Dexter. So he's probably a serial killer.
He does. He's
a little wider face, but he has.
Yeah, great call. He's part Neanderthal man, Dexter, like a caveman, a Sasquatch. I love Greg Olson.
So we've taken the serial killer label off of Rob. Now he's just the pie baker, and Dexter, aka Greg Olson, can be the serial killer.
Hey, I'm down with Olson. Don't put him in the interrogation room. That guy's great.
At least I'm not Gigabyte anymore. I'll go with Pie Baker.
Well, you're going to enjoy the thumbnail of the show this week.
Oh, yes, Pie Baker. Pat, by the way, I'd like to apologize. This is what I do. I talk too much, but I also am fair. A couple guys on Twitter said I talked you out of winning picks, and if I did, I apologize. I'm not going to lie. My Thanksgiving did not go very well, other than anytime touchdown scores, and I got drunk and I bet the Cowboys. Other than that, the Seahawks got murdered, Lions killed everything. So I apologize, but things went better after that day.
Hey, it's okay. To these guys, I bookended the week with 2 winning same game parlays in the Detroit game and the Monday Night Football game. Everyone lost money on those games. I was the big winner.
I actually bet the Bears. I feel good. People are thinking I'm crazy, but
I was on the Bears as well.
Yeah,
to these guys on Twitter. Go ahead, Pat.
I was going to say, when the Sims are hot, you got to capitalize on it. So Run the Sims was fire in week number 12. Hopefully it keeps going for 13.
Hopefully it does. Rob? The guys on Twitter that are like, you talked about of a winning pick. Everyone is responsible for themselves when it comes to betting. Like I might say, Cam, I don't think this is a good pick. But at the end of the day, it's on Cam to decide whether he's going to bet it or not. This is just like Pat. Sports bettors love to pass blame on to everyone but themselves.
Especially the new breed. The new guys do. The old guys don't do it as much.
They do.
New gamblers,
everyone does it. Anyone who gambles wants to pass the buck. I learned it a long time ago. And it's weird. The lower the stakes something is, the more upset and blame that people want to put onto you.
Good call.
Like the guy that's betting $50K per game decides who they want to bet on, and then they tend to take responsibility for that. But even as far back as like, let's say 2011, when I was really first starting to get some traction being a fantasy analyst, and like you get a start-sit decision wrong. Like I remember one time someone asked me if you should play Calvin Johnson or I think it was Travis Benjamin. And I said, you should play Calvin Johnson. What would be the point of having Calvin Johnson on your fantasy team if Travis Benjamin is going to be someone that you replace him with? Now, Travis Benjamin outscored Calvin Johnson that week. And the guy was like furious at me. Like, you're setting your own team here. And I guarantee you it was a free fantasy league that had 10 teams in it 15 years ago. I'll never remember. That one probably wasn't 15. That was probably like 2014. But that one just always sticks out in my mind as something that couldn't be lower stakes. And you take the thing that wins 95% of the time. And I don't know. I think people think that like things are 100% winners when people talk about them, when they're really like.
The thing is, you could tell a real gambler from whatever. You take your own responsibility. Guys who've done it before, Rob, we might disagree. I admit when I'm wrong. I admit when I do stupid things, but we all have our systems. And by the way, if Rob's the pie baker, Calvin Benjamin's the pie eater. That guy put a lot. He turned into a really big lad there when he was playing for the Bills. Anyway, I'm with you, Pat. Sometimes, hey, you got to bench in fantasy football. Of course you're going to make a bad decision every once in a while. It's fantasy football. Like, come on, man. Get a grip.
The other thing, too,
is... Pat's point, it's everyone. Go ahead, Pat.
Well, just... Cam had mentioned that, people talk to him about talking me out of winning picks. No one mentioned me in any of this. They just messaged you, or apparently I have these people muted. So they're probably just like scum of the earth.
I think they're muted and I still deal with them, but I'm getting very close to hitting block buttons and it's not my style, but I just don't have time for this bullshit in my life. I have enough real problems. Like I should probably hit the mute switch a lot more, Pat. And I actually commend you for it.
I check Cam's reply. I check the replies to Cam's tweets every now and then. 50% of them are, something negative, and the other 50% are fixed game. Come bet here, fixed game. Those things are it's
well
absurd
played,
now. How is this? How do we just let all these the Twitter has become such a cesspool in sports betting?
It's become a cesspool in life. Like the Corey Perry story, like everything. It's just like, honest to God, is the demise of our society. And you know what? Get smarter, people. Like, don't believe this shit. Don't whatever. It's just, I feel for people with children right now. Pat, God bless you for having kids. You're a great father, but bringing kids into this world with these trolls.
You don't know that. You don't know if I'm a good father or a bad father.
I kind of do.
I mean, I've seen Pat post one video, I think, of his son, and it was his son smashing his TV. I'm pretty sure it was like throwing.
You told me to take Cole Kmet, you little.
He's asking his kid who to start in the fantasy schools, and then blaming him.
Blaming him, son. Learn, get better. Run the Sims, you little bastard.
But to circle back to that point. One of the things that I had made mention, I forget who it was to, and it wasn't. I think it was actually to Davis when I was doing a show with him. The main part about being someone on camera, on a podcast, on TV, in the writing work, giving out either fantasy advice or gambling picks, whatever it might be, 95% of your job is just to take people's shit. Like, that's why you're there. They're not actually listening to you for picks and good advice. They just want someone to blame if they lose, and that's the job.
Yep.
You have to get used to it.
You have to have thick skin. You have to. If you do not have thick skin whenever you're giving out any sort of advice, you're just never going to make it. You got to learn to
lie, Rob. When I first started, because I'm very sensitive, even though I talk a lot of shit and crack jokes, a lot of them bad. Like at first, I got very emotional, like with some people, and then I learned why am I caring? Like I can't live this way. You just got to let it go. You bet. Who cares? Try to win money. That's the end of the story. We try to give people advice, entertain them. That's what I'm all about. I couldn't give a shit about anything else. Hope we do a good show and hope you're happy. That's it.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, as long as you're being real with the audience, it doesn't matter. Like, who cares? Who cares if you give out picks and they lose? As long as you're out there and upfront with people and be like, yeah, you know what? I'm not winning. I'm having a slump or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter if you're real with people. It's the people that are like the snake oil salesmen who are coming on and like, oh yeah, we're on this 9-2 run.
Is it real or is it snake oil?
Of course.
Have you watched that show yet?
I will never watch that show. I can tell you I watched one preview for that show. I will never turn it on in my entire
How have you only been subjected to one preview? It's every commercial break that there's a snake
every
oil
commercial,
on.
dude.
No, it's what that's the same. What it's like, you watch football, you always get like the random commercials where you basically see enough of that show in the commercial. You're like, I'm never gonna watch The Good Doctor in my life. The
that show.
Mentalist back in the day.
Why
Like, I'm
did
not
you
watching this
betray
shit.
me? So Ozempic versus snake oil. Pick them. Like, honest to God, if I see another diabetes commercial with some chick dancing around on the street with a grocer, it's not fun. It sucks. Rob has type 1, I got type 2. There's nobody partying in the streets when you're taking 38 pisses a night. Give me a break.
Maybe if you were taking some more Ozempic, you would be.
Yeah, it'd also be a hell of a lot thinner. That stuff, that's working for supermodels.
Mhm.
But I just go for walks now, Patrick. But anyway, maybe, so you're telling me you're not a good father? I'd beg to differ.
I mean, I didn't say that. I didn't say I was a bad father. I said you don't know.
No, I don't know. But I'm going to predict you're pretty good. I think you're good with your kids.
Yeah, it's like a minus if that one's a lock. No, I mean, nothing's a lock. That's like a 98% winner right there.
I did catch Feinberg the other day saying that he can't hold his kids right now because he's too sharp.
That was such a
too
good
sharp.
line. Such a good
It
line.
was so good.
Too sharp.
Yeah, because he had the
Just winning a few bets. He's too
No.
sharp.
That's not actually the case. That's what he said because he had the Patriots -3, and when it closed, it was 4.5, and he was just calling himself a sharp. And then, of course, they lose outright.
I love Jeff. God, I love that guy.
I'm having lunch with
Isn't
Jeff.
it so apropos? He's a Charger fan too. The
I know.
biggest fucking jobber team out there. Like
He's
it's just
actually
amazing.
so upset that his child was born this week before they fired Brandon Staley. It actually bothers him so much. He just wanted his child to come into the world and have like a fresh start. I'm like, it's okay, Jeff. Your child's not going to know what football is for like another 4 years. Staley won't be around by then. It's going to be fine. But he's actually really upset. I am taking him, though, for lunch on Friday to Ricci's in Woodbridge. So he's going to have a Panzerotti on Friday.
Is it Mike Ricci's? Does he own it?
Yeah, Mike Ricci's.
No.
That
Mike
guy
Ricci's
had a schnoz,
He had
man.
quite the schnoz.
Yeah.
And no teeth. Hey, you got to put it like, what are you going to do?
That was a different era of
Efforted.
hockey, too. Nowadays, you hit a guy in the head, like even you tap him, and all of a sudden, everyone wants him suspended for 20 games. Get this guy out of the league. You see, back in the day, I mean, listen, I'm not suggesting it's right, but like, remember the Canada-Russia series where Bobby Clark
take his leg out.
broke a guy's ankle, just a two-handed slash, and it was like accepted. Different times. I'm not saying we
Oh
should
yeah,
accept
yeah.
that, but
I used to hang out in front of the net. These guys are chopping me down like a redwood tree. These guys would be like, wouldn't even playing in the league anymore. Like they were like hacking your back, sticking your nuts, cracking you. You're just sitting there going, oh God. Like the refs just look, okay, more please.
Can we just get? Is Sean Avery still eligible to
Ricci's,
come back?
Rob, I'll see you there
Can we
on
get Sean
Friday.
Avery
Maybe
back?
maybe I'll self-invite myself, Pat, right up to Woodbridge, make a little tour.
Hey,
come on in.
I'm in town this week, so
Wow, are you really?
yeah, I'll be here. I'll be in Toronto as of tomorrow.
What are we doing, boys?
Oh yeah, okay.
Panzerotti get together in Woodbridge this week.
Yeah, I'm not
Former
Pat,
IT
you want to
guy.
get
Rob.
drunk one night or
Rob,
what?
I'm
You
not
wanna get
driving.
wasted?
I'm not driving 5 hours to go to Woodbridge. Like, sorry.
No, I understand. Yeah, it's,
I'll pay your Uber.
I've never been north of Eglinton. I don't plan on starting now.
It's on me. It's for the content.
That's up in Cottage. He's in North Bay, Rob. He's down to Woodbridge.
Well, when he said I'm going to be in town, he said I'm going to be in town next week. I didn't know he was going to be that far away.
Yeah, I'm going to be
My
downtown.
definition of in.
I'm going to be downtown, like where I used to live and where I.
Maybe we'll be.
He's going to be in town. You're going to be
I got
downtown.
an idea. Why don't we all go downtown and watch a game on Sunday then? Figure something out.
Well, I'm back on Sunday. I'm not there on Sunday. I know.
This conversation
Sunday's off
reeks.
limits.
Let's get to the minerals. This conversation went south quick. Me and Rob tried. Come on, Pat.
Come on, Pat.
That was awful.
Gold picks.
Ooh.
Saturday, I think I might have a beer with Garion and Jeff if you guys are around, but we'll see. Hopefully I'll spend the money before I waste it all on my gold pick. We were talking about them at the top of the show. I like Detroit -4 in New Orleans. New Orleans might not actually have anyone to throw to in this game.
That's true.
Their main receiver may be A.T. Perry, who is not good. Derek Carr is not good, and this is just a pure bounce back for the Lions. I don't understand how the Saints continue to get credibility on the spread. Like, this should be a 7-point game. The Saints are 2-8 against the spread. They absolutely fucking suck, and the Lions are coming off taking a shellacking that everyone watched 10 days ago. They have extra rest. They're going back indoors. Their defense could not have looked worse. They still have a top 10 defense in football. They just they laid an egg. Teams lay eggs. They have bad games. They can put it behind them. They can move on and just trounce a really crappy Saints team. I love the Lions, -4.
I like the Lions too.
I like the idea of the Lions. I don't like the number so much.
Really? So
I would not bet.
Tell me about the Saints then, Rob. Tell me about how good they are.
Well, it's not that. It's. I think the Lions have a high probability to win the game. But, I mean, the reality is the Lions the last 3 weeks, it's not just the Green Bay game. They should have lost to Chicago at home. They played the Chargers in a close game, and that's like the only time the Chargers offense has looked good in a while. I'm not convinced that the Lions are just going to snap their fingers and all of a sudden they're going to be great again. Like, there's a team with a lot of holes. Their defense is way overrated. Offensively, you get that Jared Goff game where it's deer in the headlights and you're fucked at that point. Honestly. So it's not that. I wanted to bet the Lions this week. I was looking at when the openers came out, I was dying to bet the Lions, but I don't want to bet the Lions at 4.5. Like that to me is like now all the injury stuff is priced in. I don't like the Saints. I'd love to fade the Saints.
I got to be honest, Rob. I don't think it is. I'm surprised the line is at 4. To Pat's point, I thought the line with the injuries would be 6.
Yeah, I would bet this at 6.5 for the Lions. The Saints are so terrible. And Cam, I'm going to play a human element on you. So I'm going to go on your side on this and take away Rob's side. Detroit had been living by the skin of its teeth for weeks. Rob just pointed out, they have the comeback against the Bears. They barely squeak out a win. They keep winning. It's going to happen to Philly at some point too. Philly's going to get their ass kicked by someone, and then they're going to be much better off because of it. I think the Lions are going to be much better off by finally getting punched in the teeth. Now they have to be a bit serious. They can't fuck around all the time. So I truly believe that's going to happen. And they have an extra 3 days rest against a terrible team.
It's true. And remember, guys, when I do my stuff, I have a little bit of robot and human too, right, Rob? Like I don't bet, like I find trap lines and stuff like that. I just don't have the computer programs and the numbers that you guys run. I don't have the electronic formula, but it's a human formula dashed in with other things. It's kind of like a cyborg, but more human than robot. A lot more.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, Rob, your gold pick.
Yes.
I don't have
Detroit
a pen on me.
-4.
I don't have a pen on me here. I would paint the square on my head if I did. I'm gonna go Monday Night Football, and I'm just gonna lay the points with the Jags.
Yeah, this
because
is gonna be one of my.
Dude,
this was gonna be one of mine
right
too.
now. I thought you'd go Cincy.
No,
Cincy's
Cincy is not being priced. Cincy should be priced like they are Carolina or like they are the Giants, and they're not being priced like. If you actually look at market power ratings right now, the Bengals are being priced as like the 24th or 25th best team in the league. They are way worse than teams that are behind them, like the Raiders, as an example, who are priced worse than the Bengals. Are you joking me? Like the Steelers destroyed. The only reason the final score last week was 16-10 for the Steelers was because Jake Browning got like 150 yards passing off of tipped balls that somehow found their way into Jamar Chase's hands every single time. They cannot move the ball. Now, there might be some rain and inclement weather in Jacksonville on Sunday. I don't care. The Bengals can't run it. They run a lot of inside zone concepts. If you look at Jacksonville, they're the best defense in the league at defending that type of running concept. I think that this is a blowout. You look at Jacksonville at home this year, when they've played bad teams, the Titans, the Colts, the Falcons, they've blown those teams out when they're at home. So I don't think that this is enough. The market has not adjusted. Cincinnati without Burrow is a terrible football team. They have no quarterback. They can't run the ball. Their defense is way overrated. The Steelers had by far their highest offensive output of the year last week on the road. I think Jacksonville's going to kill them in this game.
This is my silver pick as well, Cam.
Oh, what Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Cat on cat violence.
Yeah, we remember when cat on cat, it's a push for the cat theory. Remember, so this game's out, but I do think without this game, Cats go 3-0. Sans.
Well, that's good because I have 2 cats so far on my card.
Yeah. There you go, Pat. I know no one's got the stones to take Carolina. Trick. My gold pick is the Denver Broncos plus 3.5. Love Denver. I think this is a great spot. I'll give shit. You know what? When we're going to rip people, we also have to give them credit. I don't know what the hell Sean Payton did. Right, Rob? Was it the snake oil? We thought this guy was stooging it up. All of a sudden, this team gets it. Russell Wilson looks thin, comfortable, and now before getting sacked, quick little dump offs, extension of a run game. This team is hot. Houston, they've been good to us, but now you're laying 3.5 points with these guys. I think it's going to be a very, very tight game. I like Denver outright. This team's got something special going right now. And if they lose, I think they lose between 1 and 3. I get the hook. I think they win. Give me the Denver Broncos. I believe this team has been playing great football and making me money. Why stop now? Give me that lovely horse. Still wish I owned one, but very expensive.
I like Houston in this game to cover that number.
Oh, for God's sake!
It's
really?
I don't.
You're doing so good.
I still don't think that Denver's all that good. And what you kind of pointed out is why I think it's a bad stylistic matchup for the Broncos against the Texans. Like the Texans,
fair enough.
The Texans don't do a ton well, but what they do well is basically linebackers and in. They're very good at stopping the run. They're very good at stopping short yardage. So basically, if Stroud can get the ball going and score some points here and get the Broncos into a deficit or even put up like 24 points, I just don't think that the screens and running are going to work in this game. So then you're going to force Russell to throw the ball downfield.
And Houston's secondary reeks.
It does,
like,
but
Denver
won't throw downfield.
But Denver can't throw downfield.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
They can still throw 15 to 25-yard plays and get it done.
But
Trust
they don't.
They're amazing.
Like the offensive game plan for the Broncos almost every single week was very reminiscent of the offensive game plan that the Bears had on Monday night, which I don't think works as well against Houston.
Peyton's figured it out. This guy's actually a good coach. He will have a game plan against Houston to find holes and make it work. Anyway, I think it's going to be a tight game. I like the dog. I know a lot of people are going to like Houston, but Denver was one of the first games that popped out. As I'm going to tell you guys, I think this is one of the hardest weeks of the year. I probably say this every show, but it's very difficult.
See, I think that you have that reversed. I think most people are going to be on Denver here, not Houston, because of
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think the price is fine. I agree with Pat though. Like Denver's not going to expose Houston's. Here's when Russell Wilson throws downfield. When there's like a cover 0 blitz, everyone gets sent and he just chucks it downfield. Other than that, he doesn't. Everything's underneath. The issue I have with Denver, they've played a lot better recently, obviously, that everyone knows that. But it's been such a product of turnovers for them. Yeah, like they're generating plus 2 turnover margin, plus 3 every week. And how sustainable is that? I don't know. They play a ton of cover 3. Who's the best quarterback in the league against cover 3 this year? CJ Stroud. I don't love the matchup for Denver. I think the number's fine in the game, personally.
Yeah, so like especially with all of the running, like Javonte Williams has been really good. They've been using P. Ryan a whole lot better as well, and Russell's been good. He's not turning like the one turnover.
He's doing what they ask him to do.
Exactly. Yes. But and to Sean Payton's credit, as you kind of point out, Cam, they're not asking him to do things that he's just not capable of doing at this point and putting him in bad spots like they were doing earlier in the year. The problem is, I think, with this game is that he's gonna have to do those things that he's not good at. Now he's still Russell Wilson. He can do them. They can win this game. Listen, it's a 3.5 point spread.
It's Houston.
Yeah, it's Houston. We have no idea. Like they're not even in the playoffs at the moment. Indianapolis is in the playoffs because the Texans lost in Indianapolis. The Texans lost to Carolina. The Texans lost last week to the Jags. Like they're not a great team. I just think, like I said, stylistically, I think the Texans are a bad matchup for the Broncos.
Fair enough.
But 3.5 points. Houston wins by 3. Yep. Everyone's fine. Silver picks.
There you go.
My silver pick's going to be omahasteaks.com, Cam. Here's the thing.
That was your gold pick. That was the gold pick.
Man. No, it was. But code Mayo not only gets you 30% or $30 off extra, everything on the site right now, Cam, 50% off.
Fair enough. I actually got to get some surf for my turf.
There you go.
Ding dong.
I took Jacksonville as my silver pick, -8.5. I see the same thing that Rob does. And although that the offensive line for the Jags get no push, I've been beating this drum, especially on the DraftKings show for a while. Just take running backs against Cincinnati. They cannot stop the run. They are secretly the worst team against the run in football.
Yep. It's been that case all year. They don't have depth. Like they're just, that team is a mess. It honestly is. A lot of what they're great at is moving the ball through the air, dynamic receivers, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. If you can't get these guys the ball, and Browning looks like deer in the headlights, man. That guy's just standing in the pocket. he cannot unleash it. Burrow at least was like quick hitter, boom, 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 boom. Let's move down the field, yards after catch. This guy, he was struggling, as Cam would say.
Let's remember though too, he's the exact same quarterback. Burrow was hurt. Tennessee murdered these guys. They barely got a first down. So it's basically Browning as Burrow hurt, and they were horrible before he got healthy. So you guys bring up good points in that game. So Pat, your silver pick is Jacksonville?
Yeah, Jacksonville is minus 8.5 at DraftKings Sportsbook right now. I am going to bet it now because I think by the time we get to Monday night, after everyone's lost all their money, that I can see this being 9.5, maybe even 10. And if it gets to 10, who the fuck knows? Like, who's lining up to bet Cincinnati here? Like, no one.
I was thinking about it, but
you wait till last minute
on your argument.
I think if you want to bet Cincy, you wait till the very end.
Yes.
Personally,
yeah.
But I listen. It's football. It's the NFL. Crazy shit happens all the time. I just don't see where Cincinnati, like this to me has to be like torrential downpour type of game that the Jags win 10-3 if Cincy's going to cover.
In order for Cincinnati to cover this, at least in my mind, especially because, like, again, just Jacksonville's defense is really, really good, and no one seems to be pointing it out. Like, TJ Watt was a real problem for Jake Browning because I had the Jake Browning over rushing yards, which didn't hit. And there was like 3 or 4 times where he had a lane to run, and TJ Watt just annihilated him, and it just got him rattled. Josh Allen is going to do the same thing to him in this game because it's like Burrow, once he got healthy, all of a sudden he was moving around the pocket. He was buying time. And what was the knock on Cincinnati the past few years? Oh, their offensive line is absolutely god-awful. Well, it's still god-awful. Burrow was just making it seem like it wasn't so bad. So I just see this game being like 20-3. Unless Cincinnati scores a defensive touchdown. That was another thing that kept them in that game, just like Jalen Warren puts the ball on the ground for like no specific reason. Pittsburgh just kept turning the ball over for no reason.
I mean, it was just honestly 16-10. I bet the Steelers last week. I watched a lot of that game, and the game should have been the Steelers by 3 touchdowns. It was never, ever close at any point. It's Pittsburgh moved the ball very consistently through the air, bogged down in the red zone, classic Steelers. The Bengals got the only explosive plays they got in the game were like tips at the line of scrimmage, deflections downfield that went right into the hands of Bengals receivers. So, I mean, listen, we're betting on the NFL. Maybe there's a wide range of outcomes as to what can happen, but I really think that people are not yet realizing how bad the Bengals are without Joe Burrow.
So, Cam, do you have a silver pick?
Not really.
Okay.
I have a lot of similar picks, but oh God, what do I do? There's about 5 games that I like. I got to pick the right ones here.
Jets, Jets.
You know what?
Jets.
It was on my list. So was the Rams, if you could believe it.
I do not like the Rams this week.
But Fade and Flacco.
What?
Fade and Flacco?
Is it going to be Flacco?
Flacco's starting?
We don't know yet. I have a belief that Flacco might start in this game.
Oh God,
dude, are they going to go back? They signed Flacco. Are they going to go back to PJ Walker again if DTR is not healthy enough to play? Have we seen that show?
We got to. This must be investigated further. What do you guys think about the new coach angle with Carolina plus 5.5?
I will never.
I love the new
Carolina.
Coach angle with every team except for Carolina.
See, this is a problem. Like
the Bucks almost.
Like we're a team and we just can't get our shit together.
The Bucks almost made my short list. Why are you in front? I just I locked in betting like Carolina. Was it plus 3.5 again? I know Tennessee is terrible, but like 3.5 against Tennessee. That game. What would it finish? 17-10.
17-10.
It was not close. And weirdly enough, Tampa Bay is kind of like better Tennessee right now. Their defense is exactly the same. They're amazing against the run. They can't stop the pass. Well, spoiler alert, Carolina can't pass. So that's a real problem. The big difference is Baker's way better than Will Levis. They can actually move the ball through the air. So Carolina's absolutely fucked.
My 2 cents is if you like
notes, Rams, Panthers, arguments.
Okay, wait. I think if you like the Panthers, you might as well just bet the under in the game.
Yeah,
I think that's because the Panthers offense. It's not like they're going to bring in a new coaching staff and like, oh, by the way, here are all the good plays that we didn't use for the entirety of the year. They can't. Like You are basically relying on the Panthers defense to limit the Bucks to like 14 or less, which they can do. They're going to get JC Horn back probably.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
Listen, I don't got all damn day. I got to get probably a colonoscopy pretty soon. Give me the Jets as my silver pick.
Yeah.
Plus 2.5. Pat.
I love
there
it.
You go.
How about
I don't
Jets?
care
How
who's
about Jets
quarterbacking.
money line?
Fireman Ed can fucking quarterback that trading son of a bitch. Right. All the fans hate that guy. Oh, I like the Jets again. I hate the Jets again. You know what, Fireman Ed? Get loyal. I'm a Seahawks fan through thick and thin. When they suck with Stan Gelbaugh and Dan McGuire, you piece of shit. Give me the Jets plus 2.5. Jets, Jets. I like the money line, but we're here on spreads.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I like the Jets plus 2.5 too, Rob. I mean, the Jets have made every quarterback look awful in New York
Atlanta
so far
still
this
reeks.
season. And they have Desmond Ridder playing quarterback. So he might just give them 25 points.
What do you think, Rob? Are we on the same team today, or are we gonna pass to the opposition?
I'm not going to bet the Jets. I lean Jets. I'll be on the team. I don't think Fireman Ed is a piece of shit or an asshole. I don't know where that. I don't like the guy, but
Do the research. He's a prick.
I don't know. Seems to have been at the games for like many
Whatever.
years now.
He's a anyway. I don't want to get into this. This is not the Fireman Ed roast. But tell me why you're not betting the Jets then, please.
Oh, I think the answer is very simple.
Because they're the Jets.
It's Tim Boyle. Like, yeah, I agree with a lot of things. The Jets defense is very good. They can win them a game. They've won games this year where Zach Wilson was terrible, and they can get it done. Desmond Ridder turns it over a lot, dying to turn it over every time he's playing. I get all of that, but I have zero faith in their ability to score, and it doesn't feel great to me. If it got to 3, I would strongly consider the Jets.
Well,
at 3. I would probably bet.
Well, right now it's Falcons at DraftKings Sportsbook. It's Falcons minus 2.5, and it's juiced up to minus 119 right now. That's usually an indicator it's going to move.
It's probably going to get there. The only other thing that worries me, I'm big on like stylistic matchups and games and whatever. Atlanta runs outside zone more than any team in the league. It's kind of their thing in the running game. And the Jets have really struggled to defend that this year. It's like the one part of the Jets defense that they have not been able to get together.
Sure. And like the dump offs to running backs have been a problem for the Jets too. However, if you go and look at the schedule that the Jets have played, they have to spend so much effort, and they have a good secondary, but they have to allocate a lot of resources to stopping the pass because they just cannot give up big plays. They're just giving teams the run because it's shortening the game on them. Like, that's a pretty good strategy standpoint from Salah and the defense, that in this game, like, just dedicate Sauce and Reed to cover Pitts and Drake London and just dedicate the rest to stopping the run. I think stylistically on defense, they will change what they will do based on the opponent because they haven't played very many teams like this. Like, Atlanta can't pass. You don't need to put 5 guys back there. Just do it with 3, do it with 2, whatever.
I'm going to tell you something that sounds counterintuitive and dumb.
I like that. Tell me. This is exactly what I'm looking for.
Teams do not change their defense based on the opponent. It does not happen in the NFL. It's so infrequent. Most teams just play their style of defense and they play it, period. Because it's so hard for them to reteach stuff that or like play a different type of defense over the course of like a week where they're only practicing 3 days. It just doesn't happen. If you look on a week-to-week basis, the consistency in the defenses that they play, it's just the same thing. There's like 2 defensive coordinators in the league that vary their defense a lot. One is Steve Spagnuolo.
Guy's the best.
Yeah, he's very good because he's known for being very good because he takes away like the strength of the opposing team. Other defenses, they just play their D and they say, this is what we're going to do. We'll mix and match a little bit. With that said, I don't disagree, guys. Like Atlanta, I don't like Atlanta. People think they might have figured it out last week. Oh, they used Bijan Robinson finally. Who knows? Maybe Bijan Robinson fumbles and Arthur Smith sits him back down on the bench like like Arthur Smith is useless. So I'm kind of with you guys. I just need I need to get myself there. I'm not there just yet.
I think we need to get ourselves there on a lot of games, but Jets it is for me.
So what's your silver, Rob?
Pure numbers play. I don't actually really love it, but I'm just going to take the Eagles +3 right now because it's hit there at DraftKings. And I don't see the Eagles as a team that are going to get blown out very much. I think very highly of San Francisco. I think they'll move the ball on the Eagles defense, but I do trust the Eagles a lot when playing from behind. In this tenure for Nick Sirianni, when the Eagles are playing from behind, they tend to do it really well. And the 49ers, they struggle in a lot of situations against good teams to hold leads. That's kind of been the penchant under Shanahan in the sense that like sometimes they'll sit on it a little bit too much and they're not as aggressive. I just think that now we've hit 3. That's got to be the buy point for me on the Eagles. Like this is number 1 and number 2 in the NFC. And we're basically saying that the 49ers are 4.5 points better on neutral than Philadelphia. I don't think Philly's like world beaters or anything like that. But to me, it's too much now. And once that 3 comes, it's buy time for me on Philadelphia.
So, Cam, I kind of agree with Rob. This game's not going to get my money because everything in me just thinks that the Niners blow them out in this game, which I kind of want to happen. So when the rematch happens in Philly in the playoffs, that I'll just bet we'll just get a great number on Philly in the playoffs. Like I mentioned with Detroit, Philly's got to get punched in the mouth here soon. They've been getting away with it for too long, for too many weeks, and they just continue to be complacent with because it's working. Why would you change if you just continue to win every single week? One good shot to them is going to change their season. If they lose this game, I think they win the Super Bowl. Like if they get blown out.
I got to be honest with you. I don't think Philly will win the Super Bowl. I think Philly is not as good as San Francisco. I think they've been hanging on by a thread. And even if they lose this game, I think they will lose in the playoffs. I think Dallas can beat Philadelphia, and I think San Francisco can beat Philadelphia.
Unfortunately, Dallas can't beat Philadelphia because Philadelphia's record isn't 1-11. Just like when
it came down to the final play. I'm kind of with you.
With who? Me or him?
The Cowboys, the pessimistic Cowboys fan in me.
Don't be pessimistic. We don't
talk about Thursday.
But they do that every year, Cam. They do it every year.
But
they did this against the 49ers in the playoffs 2 years ago. They should have beat the 49ers.
Hold on. Everyone's opinion on Dallas is going to be changed when they lose outright to Seattle on Thursday night.
I like Seattle too, but the points. You think they're going to win outright? Oh my God! Please let it happen, Gambler and Patrick. Oh, I need it so bad for the playoffs. Dallas will win that game.
No, they won't.
I think Seattle will cover.
No. Didn't you hear? Dak's the MVP. How could they lose?
Yeah.
Who is the MVP?
Hurts.
Oh, they'll get what? Hurts?
Yeah, it's Hurts.
The guy that everybody's been ragging on for 3/4 of the season, saying he doesn't look right, he can't run, this and that. He's not the same as last year, and he's going to be the MVP of the league.
I would agree that he's not having as good of a year last year. He should have won MVP, and that's going to play into it as well. Like again, it's not a stats award; it is a human award when it comes down to it. They have all these fourth quarter wins. They have the best record right now. He should have won last year. The fact that he didn't was actually made no sense in retrospect because the moment he went out, their team sucked. That should have been the case alone for Jalen Hurts. But again, the MVP doesn't matter until week 15, 16, and 7, or week now 16, 17, and 18. That's when it gets decided. Like any talk about the MVP before that is useless.
What about Tua?
Yeah.
Tua's not winning.
I don't think
Lamar?
so.
Maybe.
Lamar can win. Yes. Lamar can win. Brock Purdy, sadly, can win.
Josh Allen could still win if the Bills win.
Dak can win. Josh Allen can win.
Josh Allen is not
Mahomes
the MVP.
could win if he goes. No one's put up huge stats. Mahomes could go on a run here. There's lots of guys that can win.
Like if the Jags went out, Lawrence could win.
I don't see Lawrence winning.
I don't see it either, but it would take the Jags winning it. It's like Josh Allen. The only way Josh Allen could win at this point is if the Bills win out.
Yep. He'll have the stat. He's thrown a lot of touchdowns. He'll have the stats.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. But this is the test. Like this is the NFL. There's no runaway MVP. Like it's not even close. You just look at the stats this year, and you're like, these are horrible. Like across the board. Tua actually has great numbers, but he won't win MVP. They will not give him an MVP. He'll win like comeback player of the year or something. If his number,
he will not win comeback player of the year.
He will not.
No, seriously, we need what the DeMar. Yes, didn't we talk about this before, and we're not talking about it again.
No,
I draw a line.
All you need to know is that the Buffalo Bills honored DeMar Hamlin on Sunday by losing by 3 to the Eagles.
There you go.
That's true.
Bronze picks.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna take the Los Angeles Chargers -6 in New England.
Oh God, help yourself.
I know. As Jeff has rightly pointed out, the Chargers have made mincemeat against like really shitty teams so far this year. And this is a really
I want to
shitty
take
team.
them too. Anything under a touchdown, but they're
under a touchdown.
Can't get there yet.
I'm there. Go Chargers. Bolt up, baby.
This is shocking. This is a shocking development.
Yeah, it is. I considered I wasn't going to do it, but I did consider New England as a bronze.
Why though?
Really? Wow.
Yeah, because
Interesting.
the Chargers are the Chargers are horrible offensively. Horrible. If you look at their numbers without one of Mike Williams or Keenan Allen on the field in the last couple years, they're like a bottom 8 offense. But people think Justin Herbert. Are people watching Austin Eckler right now? Austin Eckler, great running back when healthy. This guy's running like he's damaged goods, like he's basically, he's like a 45-year-old man. He looks like Trent Richardson in his prime right now, the way that Austin Eckler is running up. They have no weapons. They don't do anything. It's like Keenan Allen's going to get 20 targets a game, and they got to just pray that he does something with the ball because the rest of these guys stink. Okay, and now they have to win by 7 on the road.
So they have Keenan Allen, a guy they can throw to 20 times a game, and maybe he can go do something. So let me figure out what do the Patriots do on offense?
Okay, Bill Belichick is going to double Keenan Allen this entire game.
Yeah, I don't know.
And what are the Chargers going to do?
You have to remember, Bill Belichick's a genius. I think they're intentionally losing games.
They're not.
I think
they're not
intentionally. I think that they are. I think they paid off the kicker last week.
They are not.
They just lost to the fucking Giants, man. Tommy DeVito was moving the ball on them.
Tommy DeVito got sacked a bunch of. He was not moving the ball.
He was.
He was not.
He was just like, I'm going to drop back, look downfield, and toss it up to Jalen Hyatt, the only guy who's making plays, and he fucking sucks.
That was on the first drive, a scripted drive of the game. Tommy DeVito did not move the ball on the Patriots. People have not generally been moving the ball on the Patriots. Either losses have been because the offense can't score. It's like the London game.
I don't know.
Listen,
I think you might not be as sharp as you might think if you think that the Patriots are good. They're not.
I don't think they're good.
It sounds like you think that they're really good.
I think they are one of the worst teams in the league.
Awesome. I'm sorry.
The Chargers are laying 6 points on the road.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to be a cold Eastern game for Justin Herbert. Like, what
do you think he's going to fucking freeze to death? Like, what do you think is going to happen?
I don't think they're going to score enough to cover 7 points. I think their offense is terrible. It's legitimately terrible right now. They either turn it over or they have to force feed Allen, and you have one defensive coordinator here in Belichick who's going to take away Allen.
If and when they get to 17 points, they cover the spread.
Maybe
they did it against.
What
the
do you guys
Jets.
think of the Cardinals?
Jets have a much better. No, thank you. Just don't bet against Pittsburgh.
Okay, I was on Pittsburgh last week. It worked out for me. Just looking at the board, trying to figure some things out.
The Cardinals.
San Francisco 2.5 would be nice.
The Cardinals sneakily. I've been ever since Cust. He hated Kyler the first week he came back. Kyler looked all right. He's loved Kyler since, and he's turned Kyler into fancy Zach Wilson.
I don't know what to do here.
Kyler throws 2-yard passes. Those are the only passes he can complete.
Oh man, I want to take Tennessee. I want to take Carolina as a cat to finally rebound.
How about the Chiefs?
Man, there's so many
not the Chiefs, the Packers.
I kind of like the Packers, to be honest with you. I like the Chiefs. When I woke up from Monday, now I'm kind of I'm kind of leaning Green Bay. But you know what? Screw it. I'm sticking to my guns. I want the Rams at 3.5. I don't care what anybody thinks. Cleveland's road show. I got to stick to my guns. I can't let you guys I love you guys, but the outside noise. Stop. Things are working. Let's go. Rams. They're at home.
I'm shocked you didn't lock in the New England Patriots, the best team in football. So I assume that's your bronze pick, Rob.
Sorry, I'm just waiting for during the edit, the tumbleweed, or we need something in there. For that, or just leave the silence, the shock and awe. I fucking hate the Patriots. And Jeff, I love you like a brother. The Chargers cost me so much money. All you had to do is not lose like that. I don't care. The Rams are turning the corner. Matt Stafford is a fucking punching bag who keeps on coming back for more. The Cleveland Browns are a team that shows great schemes at home with defense. And on the road, they're a totally different team. Sure, I don't give a fuck if it's Pizzola, Joe Flacco, PJ Walker. I don't give a rat's ass. I'm taking the Rams. They're playing football. The defense is better. The offense is getting a little bit better. And Cleveland is a night and day team on the road. Rams by a touchdown. I don't care.
Okay.
And if Carolina and those other teams cover and the Rams don't, I'm going to fucking lose it. But anyway, Rams, please.
No. We're not doing this game. This is attributing blame to other people
You're
for
right.
your
And
own decisions.
You're right. You're right.
As to who the bronze is going to be. Ultimately, the words coming out of your
Rob,
mouth.
I got to be honest with you. And Pat knows this for years. I know I'm a horrible guy to work with sometimes. I have a real problem with the minerals. I never like 3. It's I need 6, like a 6-pack of beer.
No,
Maybe one
stop,
beer
stop.
drinking.
We would get to 6, and then we would have this same conversation, and you'd be like,
About
guys,
7?
I need 8. And then we would get to
I like
8,
to bet
and you'd be
every
like,
day.
guys,
That's what
we
I
need to do the
man.
entire board. It would never be enough. It would never be enough.
It would not. You're right. It's never enough. Rams.
So Chargers for me, Rams for Cam, bronze pick for you there, Patriots.
Lock it in. Patriots, bronze pick.
He's betting it out of spite and anger
Plus it.
now, Pat.
No, guy,
Spite
the
and
Charger. Ask. This is it. This point spread. I think the Patriots are bottom 3 in the league. I have them like 6 points worse than league average. In
They
order
suck.
to get to this number, you have to make the Chargers a top 10 team in the league. I do not buy the Chargers. I think their offense is much worse and has been much worse for several weeks now. And I don't trust their defense at all in anything. And by the way, the Chargers they just know how to always play a close game, no matter what.
You see, you say that. They've played 3 legitimately terrible teams this year. They covered this number against the Raiders, they covered it against the Jets, and they covered it against the Bears.
It's true.
Okay, so they played again. They covered this number against the Raiders.
The Raiders, Jets, and Bears. The 3 worst teams that they've played.
Raiders, Jets, and Bears. Okay, yes. Bears game. Obviously not the same Bears now. It was Tyson Badgent's first primetime game start on the
which would make
road.
them about as good as the Patriots right now.
No, that makes them worse than the Patriots, especially
The Bears
at that
are better
time.
than the
Bears,
Patriots. I don't even think it's
now they
debatable.
are. Yes,
Even with
now
Bejon, they were better. Bejon went 2-2.
I agree.
Las
with
Vegas
fucking
week
English
4.
muffin, Bejon, bagel, doesn't matter what pastry. The Bears are better than the Patriots.
Okay, if you gave me Patriots against the Bears from that week, where they had a bunch of injuries in the secondary, plus Bajan starting, I'll take the Patriots straight up over them. You can agree to disagree, but I would.
Made up.
What do you mean it sounds made up? That's what happened. Las Vegas was week 4. What are we learning from Las Vegas in week 4? It's a completely different team now. It's complete. Anyways,
We're really
I'm sticking with
early
it.
around the holiday season. We all need to go out and have a couple.
I'm sticking with it. I might just go Patriots every single week until the rest of the year and Martingale system.
Okay.
You know what? It actually might work, Pizzola, because everyone's so down on those motherfuckers that they probably will cover till the end of the year.
They suck. I know they suck. They're
I know
terrible.
Carolina sucks too. Okay, that's the whole argument, though. And Rob, I would say that's why they have point spreads. That's why they have a point spread.
Okay, but here, for me, it's like, okay, if I was going to make an argument against Carolina, right? Okay, it's not just Carolina sucks. What is Carolina plays cover? They play the most cover 3 of any team in the league. They're cover 3 defense. You know the one defense Baker Mayfield has cooked the entire year? Cover 3.
My
Destroys
point
them.
being, though, how many times, I'll just use the NHL as an example. The Minnesota Wild suck. They fire Everson. They win Dean Evison. They win their next game 3-1. It's not about systems, right? It's about, do you think the players actually liked Frank Reich? Do you think they did when he's milking another contract? Do you think they thought he was a really good coach or a guy? If this coach is likable, it just seems to happen more often than not. I don't know. Run the numbers. How many times do teams win outright when a new coach is there, even if they're pieces of shit? A lot.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Is that actually true, or is that just what you remember?
It is true, Pat. I'm telling you.
Okay, then give me a number then. Give me tell me what it actually is.
I don't have it in front of me, but I guarantee it's good.
There's
good.
there's a half point to a 1 point coaching bump in the week following
I need an assistant.
Dismissal.
I need a guy to run the
so what you're telling me,
arguments.
if there's a half point to a point bump, that if the Bucks were -6, you don't think they would cover the 6?
I also think you have to take the situation into consideration. Antonio Pierce comes in. They hated McDaniels. Pierce is a player's coach, but not only did he come in and he's just like a player's coach, they revamped the offense completely. Like they went to Josh Jacobs and said, hey, Josh, guess what? You've sucked this year. Let's try to figure out why you've sucked. And Josh Jacobs says, well, like all these running plays you guys are designing for me, they don't work for me. These are the type of running plays that work. They implemented that. They started doing things differently. What are the Panthers going to do differently? They have no receivers. They have no O-line. They can't run the ball. Their quarterback stinks. There's just, to me, there's nothing they can do
me
different.
on this game?
No, because I don't want. First of all,
I'll send you.
Were you going to say I don't want to take your money?
No, I don't want to bet the Bucks now, because what's going to happen later in the week is J.C. Horton's going to get ruled in. C.J. Henderson's going to be back off a concussion. Jeremy Chin's going to be off IR, and the number is going to go to Carolina, and that's when I'm going to bet Tampa Bay, because I just don't think that it's going to matter. I don't.
Fair enough. Anyway, did we do all? Pat, what is your goal? Your bronze selection?
I took the Chargers, so we're good.
And you took the Patriots.
We just
guaranteed winner week.
Yeah, we need
guaranteed winner week.
We'll push.
And I took the Rams. Wow, we got some really.
No, Cam, I want to clarify. I'm not saying guaranteed winner like the Patriots are a guaranteed winner. I'm saying one of me or Pat is going
which is
to
not
win
even true, because we could push.
Yes.
We got.
All right, teaser.
Yes, we can.
I'm going to tease the Chargers down
by
to a
6.
That's my contribution to this teaser. So
my teaser. Let's do something here.
Can you go first? I'm going Jags. Jags right away.
Okay, Jags down to 2.5. All right.
Can I get Titans plus? No, it doesn't cross thresholds that you guys need.
No. We don't need it.
I don't need anything.
I
just need you to make a pick.
Exactly.
Chiefs pick them.
KC pick them. All right. Easy game. Chargers pick them. KC pick them.
No. We're not done yet. Can I get Panthers plus 11 and no, we can't do that.
Well, which one do you want? Here. You can't. You get one pick. You don't get 3.
What do you guys like?
I just said it.
We gave our picks.
Do you think Green Bay could beat Kansas City outright?
Sure. Anyone
in the league. Sure, they
win.
can. Yeah.
It's a lot of anger on today's show.
Well, I mean, like, what do we like? We just fired off our picks back to back. It's what do you like now? You got to make the pick.
Okay. I'm kind of perplexed. You guys like the Titans? Is it 6.5 or 6?
It's 6. It's
6
always
point
6.
teaser.
Yeah. See, that becomes 7. It's kind of a big number there. What about the Commanders? Like 15.5? No. Oh, I'm so confused right now.
You're answering your own questions too. What do you like, guys? To like about this?
I want Denver. My gold pick is the teaser.
There you go. Denver up to 9.5.
Jets plus 8.5. Done. No more discussion. We're done. He gone.
We pivoted through 4 games so far.
I can envision you making a 17 6-point teaser with every game you just listed.
I will, Pat. You already figured it out. Not hard.
Well, that will do it on the Pat Mayo Experience. I want to thank all of you for watching. I want to thank Cam, and I want to thank Rob. Check out Rob on the Forward Progress YouTube channel. He does the watch-alongs with the games, plus content on the NFL and others on Forward Progress, just the NFL. But over at thehammer.bet, betting content for all the sports that you love. Cam is over on Sports Grid. You can check him out there every single day and follow him on Twitter at Cam Stewart Live and tweet nice. You know what? If you've watched this far in the show this week, just tweet some nice things to Cam.
Yeah.
No, just go out of your way to say, Cam, I think you're hilarious. Cam, I like your
guys. Hey, Pat, you guys, we've done a great job. I know we bitch and we bust each other's nuts and stuff like that, but that's the fun of it, right? Like, this is the thing. This is what we do on this show. It's we're in the entertainment business and the pick business. Let's have a good time, and let's. You're right. More positivity in the world, please.
Cam is right. We're just here busting each other's nuts.
Mayo Experience! Experience!